Good morning again, and thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel. Today, I wanted to talk about social media because today I was I was rendered furious by Twitter today, and I was very vocal about it. And I thought to myself, okay, you know what? I have become too dependent on the notion that I need social media to survive or to succeed in this sort of venture I'm on with my YouTube and so on and so forth. And YouTube is also a form of social media. Don't get me wrong, I understand that. At this time, I'm not really talking about YouTube. Although with YouTube, I know that I have to keep a very sort of emotional distance from it, just because at any moment they can change the algorithms, they can change the rules, they can block you, they can demonetize you, they can do many, many things. They wield a lot of power in your life. And so when your entire life is YouTube, it's a very dangerous thing, you know. So I'm not saying that my life is entirely YouTube, but I think for a small business, if your life is YouTube, wow, right? That's a lot of stress, you know, that you've got to diversify your portfolio, I think. But with other social media platforms like Twitter, for example, I really today had to question the wisdom, the prudence of, you know, thinking about these mechanisms or apparatuses as I do, that they're of the essentialness that they pose to my success, my future success. And what I realize is that whatever they will be in the future, if anything, in the present, a lot of these platforms and mechanisms are nothing but a pain in the ass. Really, they're a pain in the ass. They're very, very expensive, and these people that run these platforms are so powerful. They become more powerful every day as more people sign up. With every person who signs up, the more power these people wield. And often it's this very small monolithic group of people who basically control the entire world, including whether you eat or not. Because if you can't sort of succeed on these platforms and get them to like you and the algorithms and so forth, they literally have the power to completely prevent you from even eating. And I thought to myself, this is really unhealthy. This is really unhealthy. And it's so mindless the way that the entire world is just, mindlessly allowing themselves to be put in this position. And I thought to myself, I have to start to rethink this. And hence this article called Do You Really Need Social Media as a Business? Right? And 10 reasons why success might mean skipping social media. Like, just don't get involved. Stay away. Keep your distance. Right? Now, here's what I came up with my research on the topic. Is like, in an era where social media seems to dominate every aspect of our lives, from personal interactions to business promotions, it's time to question the assumption that it's an indispensable tool for small business success. Contrary to popular belief, here, in my opinion, are 10 reasons why skipping social media, skipping the bandwagon, might just be the smartest move for your small business if your ultimate goal is to achieve business success. And the first issue and reason for skipping is that social media can be a real time sucker. You know, it sucks up all your time. It's a sinkhole, right, for your time. It's also a money pit. So it's a time sinkhole and a money pit, right? Because let's face it, managing social media accounts can be a full-time job in itself, and it adds up with these promotion bank debit. So you don't get anywhere if you don't promote, right? And so they go in, they take your bank details, they take your money, and quite often it just seems that you're not really getting engaged clients or customers, right? You just have these numbers that ultimately, I hate to say it, don't really mean anything, right? So I wondered whether instead of pouring hours into crafting the perfect tweet or Instagram post and paying your last dime to get followers and subscribers who don't interact with your account, whether it would be better to begin to focus more on refining your product or services and gradually growing over time rather than, sort of letting yourself become addicted to, this speedy growth and these big numbers that really just get you nowhere except poorer, right? You're becoming more impoverished. The second issue is the algorithm roulette. So, social media algorithms are constantly changing at the whim of the CEO, like Elon Musk and people like that, whoever else, um, Zuckerberg and all these people, very powerful people, but a very small group of people who may not have everyone's best interest in mind. I mean, it just may not be the case, right? So social media algorithms are constantly changing, making it difficult to reach your audience without paying for advertising. So, one question is, why gamble your hard earned money on platforms where your reach is dictated by algorithms beyond your control? And quite often, these algorithms are not even pointing your work to your target audience anyway. They're sending you off someplace where, people can't really be seriously engaged with your product and services, actually. I mean, with all due respect, right? The third issue with social media and this belief that it is your only way to success as a small business is the follower fiasco, right? So, building a substantial following on social media takes time and effort, often resulting in vanity metrics rather than genuine engagement. So, you have like 1 million followers, but 50,000 of those are engaged. 50,000 is 50,000. It's a big number. But I mean, you have 1 million followers. You start to question, and you're paying to keep that going. And probably big bucks. You start to question the prudence of this, and you start to ask yourself whether quality over quantity isn't better, right? And whether quality over quantity should be your mantra when it comes to your customer relationships, right? That's not to say anything about YouTube, because again, I'm on YouTube and that's where I'm going to be for now, until further notice. But all the others are over for me, right? Because I'm done with this kind of toxic, power and control, and getting nothing out of it but aggravation. The other thing is the comparison trap on social media. So, social media breeds, in my opinion, a culture of comparison where businesses constantly measure themselves against competitors' as flashy posts and inflated follower counts, right? And I mean, even on this particular YouTube channel, I mean, I have advocated, um, you know, beating the competition. And so, you're paying attention to the competition, but, in a way, it's a big distraction as well. And I think it's better to try to avoid this distraction and focus on your unique value proposition, whatever that might be. The other thing with social media is the content burnout and this pressure to continuously churn out content regularly, which can lead to a decline in quality and creativity for content creators. And so instead of doing that and succumbing to the content treadmill, if you will, whether isn't it better to invest your energy in creating meaningful experiences for your customers? Then there's the privacy predicament that comes from engaging with social media and signing up to all these platforms that you don't even know what they're doing with your data, right? And with the growing concerns over data privacy, associating your business with social media platforms that have a track record of, so they have their track record of mishandling user data can tarnish your reputation. And, it's so important to protect your customers' trust by keeping their data safe. And so the best way to do that is just don't get involved with social media to begin with, right? I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking. But I could be just, bitter about my Twitter account. The other thing is negative feedback loop that comes from social media, and social media platforms are breeding grounds for negative feedback and criticism. Elon Musk calls that free speech, right? Which, okay, but these platforms end up magnifying minor issues into full-blown crises. It allows people to do that and totally destroy brands and reputations, right? So it's better to maintain control over your brand's narrative, in my opinion, by limiting your exposure to these platforms. That's what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking. That's just my idea, right? It's just my personal opinion. You do what you want, okay? The other thing is dependency dilemma, and relying solely on social media for customer acquisition leaves your business vulnerable to platform changes or shutdowns, and that's really very true. So it's important to diversify your marketing efforts to build a more resilient business model. I couldn't emphasize this more, is that being on social media and feeling this need to be on it to succeed really creates a kind of dependency. It's almost like you become addicted, and you can't function without it, and that's very unhealthy. That's unhealthy. It stops with me right here, right now. Number 9, the FOMO fallacy, the fear of missing out on social media trends, which I talked about just the other day. Is like, oh, as soon as they come out, jump on these trends so that you're the first in, so you can build this and build that. But then there's the other side of that, the flip side that you need to think about also and weigh that with the other, is that this can lead to impulsive decisions, right? That don't align with your worldview. They don't align with your business goals. They don't align with your values. They just don't align with your vibe and how you think, right? And so why do you have to be a part of something that just does not align with who you are and what your business is all about? You need to trust your instincts and focus on strategies that have a proven track record for success. And number 10 is real world relationships. So ultimately, success in business is built the old fashioned way, right? On genuine connections and word of mouth referrals, not likes and shares, right? And how many subscribers you have. So it's better, I think, at this juncture, to invest your time in building meaningful relationships with your customers and community offline, right? Than becoming sort of so ensconced and trapped in this social media labyrinth of just pure, frankly, hell in many instances. Okay, so in conclusion, while social media can be a powerful tool for certain businesses, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Okay, by bucking the trend and opting out of popular social media platforms, you may find yourself better positioned for success in the long run. Remember, it's not about following the crowd, it's about charting your own path to success. Now, here's a case study, the artisanal bakery. Take, for example, a small artisanal bakery located in a bustling city neighborhood. The owner, let's call her Sarah, initially decided to invest heavily in social media marketing to increase foot traffic and sales. Sarah spent hours each week meticulously curating Instagram-worthy photos of her pastries and bread, crafting witty captions and engaging with followers. She even hired a social media manager to help keep up with the demand for fresh content. However, as time went on, Sarah began to realize that despite her efforts, the return on investment from social media was not as significant as she had hoped. While she gained a decent following online and saw occasional spikes in sales, the effort and resources required to maintain a strong presence on social media were draining. Moreover, Sarah noticed that some of her competitors were thriving without a significant social media presence. Instead, they focused on perfecting their products, offering exceptional customer service, and building strong relationships with their local community. Sarah made the bold decision to scale back her social media efforts and redirect her energy and resources toward improving the quality of her baked goods, expanding her product line, and fostering deeper connections with her customers. The result is that despite posting less frequently on social media, Sarah's Bakery saw an increase in loyal customers and word of mouth referrals. By focusing on refining her product and service rather than chasing likes and followers, Sarah was able to achieve sustainable growth and long-term success for her business. Okay, so I think I'd like to stop here. There's a second case study, but you can check that out on the NewYorkLawyerConsultation.com website. And yeah, that's the full article will be there. Thank you so much for listening, and I want to wish you a beautiful day. I also would like to thank you if you are a subscriber, but I'll leave that to you. I don't want to become a slave to how many subscribers I have anymore. I want to just, produce my videos and do my best to try to help others to succeed, and that's about it. So, see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.